it's extremely important to have support, but at the same time, it's all up to yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to work hard yourself, because that's how you take care of that whole team.
Mathias, welcome to the FITTEAM show.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to speaking with you and getting to know a little bit more of your story today.
Yeah, thank you.
To start us off, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
My name is Mathias Gronberg. I'm 50 soon in March. Started playing golf when I was 10. And I turned professional when I was 20. So I've been a pro golfer on the European Tour and the PGA Tour for about 30 years, together with some struggling years on the mini tours as well.
So when did you first play golf?
I was 10 years old. I found my mother's golf clubs in the basement, and she had given up playing golf because I was so hard to raise when I was young. So she had given it up for 8 years. But I started when I was 10, found the golf clubs. The next day I went to the driving range, and I was asked to become a member the first day I hit golf balls.
Wow. So you must have been impressive.
I had a knack for it. I did pretty good. 3 months later, to fast forward, 3 months later, I was in the final in Sweden for 10 years and younger.
Wow.
And I was nicknamed Björn Borg of golf, the new star. And he's obviously one of the best tennis players of all time.
So 3 months later?
3 months later.
Say that again, just in case anyone missed it.
3 months later,
Yeah.
I was top 10 out of 10-year-olds and younger. 3 months later, yeah.
So what was next for you? What happened after that?
After that, I kept on playing soccer a lot when I was young, until 15 and a half years old. Soccer was my big thing. Golf was secondary. And but then when I was 15 and a half, I actually joined a combined golf school, economics and golf. And then I gave up soccer, and within 1 or 2 years of attending this school, the economics for 3 years, the dream materialized to become a golf professional.
So tell us a little bit more about that. When did you really first start thinking about that?
Well, I first had to handle the negative thought of not becoming what I really dreamed of becoming. I wanted to become a fighter pilot, but my eyes were too bad. So that's when it shifted over to golf. And but I was just die hard. I did maybe 50 hours to 65 hours of practice, golf and fitness and mental coaching while attending school.
Talk about the mental coaching.
Mental coaching. I've had six really strange mental coaches. I've had Bob Rotella, the #1 sports psychologist in the world, for a number of years. But I've also gone to kind of the quacks, the self-hypnosis guys. And I've kind of melted together a really good mental coaching for myself, my way.
So after, you decided that it's a dream to be a professional golfer, you're not going to be able to be a pilot. So what happened next? Like, how do you get started, or what's the next step, or what took place?
Yeah, next step was I practiced really hard. I ended school, and then I went into the military in Sweden. It was mandatory. I was smart. I took the lowest position in the military. It was 7.5 months. But as I was in a golf platoon, actually a sports platoon. There were 16 soccer players, 8 guys and girls guys from athletics, and 8 golfers. We played soldiers for 7.5 months. I shot a lot of targets. I don't think I'm a good soldier, but I'm there anyway. But and then after that, I had 1 year as an amateur golfer, and then I played the biggest tournament as an amateur, the World Amateur Team Championship, and I won it both in team and individual.
So what was it like going into that big tournament, and obviously winning is amazing, and that's probably just sets your path. But
Yeah.
what was it like to go into that? And did you think you were going to win? Did you think you were going to do well? Were you on top of your game at that point, or were you still? Was that? How was it for you then?
Not to say too cocky, but I knew that I was going to win.
You knew you were going to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it came together just as I envisioned it. I beat Phil Mickelson with 14 shots, so he's one of the superstars in the sport. I haven't done as well as him in my long 30-year career, but I beat everybody that week, and it was a dream come through. And then the next week, I'm on a plane to Ivory Coast and Nigeria in Africa to play my first 2 professional golf events.
So tell us about that. Tell us about your first professional golf event. What that felt like, and
it was in Nigeria, and it's oil sand greens, brownies. So it's not really golf. I had to acclimatize to that, change my strategy a little bit. The holes are probably double the size of a traditional golf hole in golf, and but it was awesome. I had a great caddy that became my friend from Nigeria, and no, it was great.
So talk about some of the best, some of your most favorite memories that you had golfing, some of your favorite events.
The most favorite one that I have, and my wife hates me when I say it, it's 22 years ago, 1998 in Ireland. After 9 holes, I have a 10-shot lead in a tournament against the top field of the year on the European Tour. I ended up winning by 10 shots. And that's my highlight of my career, basically.
So why doesn't your wife like you sharing that?
It's too old.
Okay. Gotcha.
She wants my favorite moment to be now.
Gotcha.
But that I'm working on it. My goal is to win a major, and I'm turning 50 in March. So I've done everything in golf except playing in the Ryder Cup. I was very close twice, which is a team event, USA versus Europe, and but I never got to play, and it's not going to happen. But hopefully I can do something as a senior now, turning. And the big thing is I put up this huge goal of winning a major.
So that obviously is a huge goal, and it's going to take a lot to happen.
Yeah.
A lot of focus, discipline, practice, and all those things. So to become a professional athlete and play at a high level, what are some of the things that you think are very important?
Self-discipline, mental toughness, positive mental attitude at every road, every day. Stay in the present. I can dribble off hundreds of small factors that bring it all together, but for me, it was the will to win that really set it apart. I wanted to achieve something. My dream goal at that time was to become the best golfer in the world ever, which had to beat Jack Nicklaus. I lived that dream until I was about 33 to 34 years old. That was every day I was thinking about it, and I dreamt. I was moving that path. I won 4 events on the European Tour by the age of 33. And but then I didn't rabble off victories fast enough.
So we talked about self-discipline. That's, I think, where it starts for a lot of athletes, entrepreneurs, successful people. There's just something about them that's just different. They're able to hold themselves accountable and wake up and do things that other people aren't able to do for some reason. Can you just elaborate why you think that is?
It's inner drive in you, a passion to and be proud of what you want to do. I follow a mental guru that I really can recommend, Robin Sharma, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Great book, and in there it's about rising up an hour before everybody else, basically. This morning I was up at 3 a.m. At 4 a.m. I had my first FITTEAM drink.
It's a great plug. Appreciate that.
Yeah, there will be plenty of them.
All right. Well, we appreciate that you love our products, and
Yeah.
So, what about what can you tell us besides the self-discipline, other things you mentioned, some other things that really separate the good from the great?
There's a definition, I think, that the truly great ones have a career that spans maybe 3 to 4 like 30, 40 years. Bernard Langer, Jack Nicklaus, the champions of the sport. And you can be great just for 5 years or whatever, and then you fall off. That's not being great in my book. Then you're good. But you're a flash in the pan or whatever. But consistency at being great and having a record like Jack Nicklaus where you win 18 majors, but he has 34 seconds and another 34, 40 thirds. That's truly great.
Right. So longevity, being able to do something at a high level for a long period of time is very important. It's a mindset, and it's like you said, it's that self-discipline and wanting to continually to do better and continually to improve and never ever being satisfied, never ever settling. Just you live and do the best that you can.
Yeah.
So.
No, and just to put it in there, when I played golf at this high level anyway, I was negative. I really self-awareness wasn't high there, but when I unfortunately lost my PGA Tour card in 2010 after being on tour for 7 years, I found Robin Sharma's book, and I found another great book, 3 Feet from Gold by Greg Reed and Sharon Lecter. And they kind of set me on this path to really be positive mental attitude day in and day out. And I can't remember the last thought of negative in my brain. I've been programmed to be super positive or neutral the whole time.
So what's some of the toughest experiences you faced in your career?
Being away from my family. 2010, I wasn't smart enough. I didn't understand that. I brought the family with me on the PGA Tour. We could afford it. I had them with me day in and day out. And then abruptly, my son started school. And my wife with my firstborn son stayed at home. And then at that time, I had 2 children. And that hurt. Being away from them, I couldn't handle it properly. Now I can, but then I couldn't.
What's some things that you're looking forward to in the future?
Oh, striving for the goal of winning a major. At least one. My
One.
goal is 1 or more, because I don't want to limit myself. But also to become a better father. Day in and day out, I work a lot with my life coaching myself. It's not just golf. I'm involved with some startups. I like to become a better businessman, knowing how to raise capital, run a company, and make it successful, and become a unicorn.
So is Florida your home now?
Yeah, I live here in West Palm Beach.
And you've been here for how long now?
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah, but in and out for about 20. My wife is American, from Spring Lake, New Jersey, or New York area, and then they had a condo in Palm Beach. So since '97, when I met my wife in Monaco, we started traveling in and out from Palm Beach.
So you've, I know you're well traveled. What's some of the favorite places that you've loved to play at?
Yeah, St Andrews in Scotland is the number one golf course for me experience-wise, and it's actually it's the number one. It's the home of golf, and but I love South Africa. Playing in Leopard Creek Golf Club in South Africa, where in the morning we'd take game drives out in the jungle, and then come back and play the tournament golf, and then in the afterwards we go on night drives and things like that. But well traveled, 65 countries, 56 countries where I played golf in. So Yeah, I've spent 8 to 10 years in countries like France, Italy, Spain, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Germany. A lot, because I played 11 years on the European Tour, and then a couple of years on the mini tours as well.
So besides St. Andrews being the home of golf, what makes it so special?
The town, it sits, the 18th hole is just in town. You have the road and the hotel right on the right hand side, the buildings, and then the clubhouse is majestic, it's old, it's the history of the game. I've had personal great experiences. I played Tiger Woods there in a game, in a match play, Alfred Dunhill, and that was like 98, 99. But I've also played about 100 golf rounds, tournament rounds at that place. So that's why I love it. The second one I love is Pebble Beach in the U.S. on the West Coast. And just to add, I should add, the USA is probably the most beautiful country that you have on earth, where most Americans, you don't have to leave the US. The world have come to you, and you have everything. You have deserts, you have mountains, you have islands, you have everything in this country.
Some people that haven't been elsewhere, so they don't really appreciate it sometimes, but it's definitely something special here in the U.S. I've traveled quite frequently myself.
You do.
So you mentioned Pebble Beach. What is it that's for the U.S. Golf course? What is it about Pebble Beach that for you that puts it above anything else?
When I play golf, I don't want to be in. I love forest and everything like that, or links golf, but I need water. And Pebble Beach is known by the 18th hole, par 5. They just finished the AT&T Pro-Am that I've played in for 7 times. But it's beautiful. It's unbelievable how beautiful it is. It's just, it feels like heaven.
What's a typical week of preparation before a big tournament that you're ready to play? Like, what does it look like before you get to Thursday?
It's practice, but normally I fly in Monday night or Tuesday morning, practice and play 18 hole of practice, and then most times if you're good enough as a pro, you play in the Pro-Am with 3 amateurs on Wednesday. If I'm not in there, I'll do 9 holes before they tee off, so then you're on the tee at 5:30 in the morning, play 9 holes before they play the Pro-Am. There's a lot of mental coaching. I normally do about 30 minutes of mental coaching myself, whatever you say, visualization and stuff like that.
What final words do you have to share with the audience? Anyone looking to be an athlete? You mentioned now you want to get into business. What tips do you have for anyone that's looking to operate at a high level in either one of those?
Yeah, let's be specific in one way about FITTEAM ambassadors. I think it is the self-discipline of actually putting down goals, what you want to achieve, and from there, the roadmap to success is very, very easy to achieve diamond status or whatever status you want to set as a goal as an ambassador. But then it's to take life, make it fun, make it challenging. But remember that the goal is not the end all. It's the process to enjoy every day and be passionate about it. By the way, this is a plug-in too. I watched the Diamond member that you have on the website.
Brand partners. Yeah.
Wow. I started crying at 5 a.m. But the passion that she had for, and she explained exactly how you need to be as a person to be successful.
And it takes a team, and we didn't really touch on the team aspect, but there's definitely people behind you throughout your family, your mental coaches, your other coaches. There's a team of people that have helped you become who you are.
Yeah,
and just touch on the importance of the team. If
I don't have my wife and my children supporting what I do, then that's a fail. directly right there. But then I've had a mental coach, putting coach, swing coach, the whole coach system. It's extremely important to have support, but at the same time, it's all up to yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to work hard yourself, because that's how you take care of that whole team. So it's both ways. I don't need support to be successful, but it sure is fun to have it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for sharing your time with us.
No problem,
Look
Chris.
forward to seeing you around.
I'll be here in town.
Awesome.
Thank you.